Hello everybody, welcome to today's episode where we're going to open the legendary dragon decks. Now, if you know anything, or if there's anything you should know about me, I'm an old player for Yu-Gi-Oh! Which means I play mostly for entertainment and not to win. Which doesn't really work anymore in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because everyone's just trying to win. There's little people actually trying to play for entertainment. So, I tried teaching my friends how to play for entertainment. I love these boxes from back then. They're so cool. This doesn't feel right. Because I've bought this before. I don't think I had a cyber deck when I got it. Or an Odd Eyes Abyss. Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon. I don't know if I had those. But I do remember this. I probably did get these. And I just don't remember getting them. Pretty glossy. Because I've really only cared about Dark Magician growing up. And not to say that he isn't up there on my list anymore. He's just not my favorite anymore. My actual favorite card is not him. So my actual favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card is, let's see if I can find this line. Wait, what? Is it on the other side? No. So, one of my OG favorite cards is actually Magician of Black Chaos, or Dark Magician of Chaos. Gosh, I am struggling so hard with this. I'm so used to there just being like a little pull string. This one has it. Why doesn't this one? So one of these have it. And the other one probably did. I just couldn't find it. Chimera. Okay. So this is a Cyber Dragon deck, or tellable from the leading card being Chimera Mega Fleet Dragon, which I don't remember what the clauses are for that card. Cyber Repair. This is how you kind of tell it's Cyber Dragons. Cyber Network, which I remember it being a busted card. Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. Looks kinda tight, not gonna lie. Cyber Dragon Infinite, which I think is actually still somewhat playable in these new years of playing. You know what? Let me just get the entire extra deck out first. Cyber End Dragon. Cyber Twin Dragon. Cyber Twin... Ooh, wait, doubles now? They're doing doubles? Chimera Ray Tech Over Dragon. Chimera Fortress Dragon. Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. So this is the like non-special card of it. Cyber Dragon Nova, and another Cyber Dragon Nova. So that is the extra deck. Now we start the main deck off with like a basic Cyber Dragon. If you're If your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Only one. Okay, so wait. The gimmick between a bunch of Cyber Dragons is all of them are named Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon Zoe. Z-W-I. I'm gonna assume it's Zoe. I will learn how to play that because I don't. The cards that I do know, I will talk about. The ones I don't, Cyber Dragon Drea. Okay, here's the second Cyber Dragon. Okay, Cyber Dragon Core, which counts as a Cyber Dragon card, which is actually very good. So they give you 3 of those, which is actually I think that's what's recommended. Is to play 3. Then you got Proto Cyber Dragon, which I think's name becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field. Cyber Valley, Cyber Sphinx. I used to have the card, but I never cared about its effect because it looked cool. Okay, maybe I did own this deck at one point because I'm seeing a lot of cards that I somewhat have, but they're very damaged. So 2, wait, was it 2? No, it's just 1 Cyber Dinosaur. Cyber Elterminen. Eltanin? I've never been able to say this name, but I've had it so many times. And I think it gains, what is it? I think it gains 500 attack for every Cyber Dragon in the graveyard, or light machine monster in the graveyard. And then they give you 2 of those. That is me summing that card up. Its effect is definitely a lot longer, as you see. Oh wait, that's Armed Cyber Dragon, Armored Cybern, Machine Fortress, which is actually a card that can be used in Edison format if you're a fan of that. Cyber Plant, Repair Plant, which I think would, just like going off of that, it allows you to summon a Cyber Dragon from the graveyard. So you get 3 of those. Cybernetic Fusion Support, which is pretty good. Evolution Burst. Wait, they give you 3 Evolution Bursts. Power Bond. I feel like that image used to have a different name. Overload Fusion. Future Fusion, which is a card that I think is limited to 1 because of how good it is. Limiter Removal, which is actually declared a very good card. Machine Armored Unite. Cyber Network, you get 2 of those. Cyber Shadow Gardna, which is a trap that becomes a monster. Storming Mirror Force. Okay, I think this is the one everyone tries to play in their deck. I think it is this. Quaking Mirror Force. Never mind, if it is any of these, it exists in the deck. I think it's either Drowning or Storming. Because if a monster attacks, it sends all monsters back to the deck, which I think is Storming or Drowning. Yep, it's Drowning. Okay, this is deck 2 of the Legendary Dragon decks. This is the extra deck for the Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon. Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. So this is the main. Apparently, one of these 3 are going to be like the main boss one. It's kind of cool that they added Synchro Pendulum. effectively added every version into this that existed at the time. Like every add-on together, every synchro they can, or anything they had. So they had like they had fusion, exceed, synchro, pendulum, which I've never really liked. So this one is Clear Wings Synchron Dragon. Dark Rebellion Exceeds Dragon. Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. This is an Odd Eyes deck, so you're gonna see the word Odd Eyes a lot. Performable Gatling Gun? Is that what that says? Gatling Ho. Supreme King Dragon Clearwing. Gosh, that's such a cooler name. Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. They went out pretty well with some of these names. Supreme King Dragon Dark Rebellion. Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. And so, something I will say is, when it comes to me and starter and decks like these, where, or just like these like pre-con decks, I actually prefer to only add on cards if the deck is not performing enough. I will say, from the legendary decks 2, I couldn't use both Exodia and what's it called? The Egyptian gods in one deck. So what I did instead was I added the card. So this card already does exist in the deck, Obliterate, but I added another version. I added Draw of Fate, and I added Obliterate Blaze to add support to the deck. And then I added another Contract of Exodia. And the main reason I did these was because, as is, the deck's meant to stall. And if you're struggling to stall, I put in, as an option, Spellbinding Circle, Magical Cylinder. If you are versing people with similar in-power decks, you should be able to get Exodia out within... It's very dependent on what your hand looks like, or how you played the deck, but you should be able to get Exodia out within 10 turns total. Not 10 of your turns, just 10 turns throughout the entire game. Maybe less than 10, but if you only add the cards that I said, those cards allow you Draw Fate. Oh no, I dropped cards. Oh god. So, dang it, everything's falling apart around me. Okay. So, let's say you got Draw of Fate. Draw of Fate allows you, from what I can recall from playing it, it allows you to go into your deck, but you have to have, your life points need to be lower than your opponent. That is its first condition. you are then allowed, and then they gotta control a monster with higher attack. That is your second condition for this card. Then, what you can do is play the card, and off playing it, you can grab 3 cards from your deck, move them to the top. After that, you get to draw 1 card. You can only activate Draw Fate once per turn. And it does only so it does stop you from playing traps or spells after you play this card. So let's say you have like a trap or spell. You want to activate your traps and spells before you activate this. This is like a last second card. You're trying to get Exodia now. From that, what you then do is you then pick whatever the card you wanted. You can't set or place a trap or spell, so you kind of gotta prepare for this, but you can still use monster effects. It's just like a good card that I added in that really helped build the deck up. Like, Obliterate Blaze is pretty good, but I'm only running 1. It's a quick play spell for Exodia that's just very good. Okay, time for Dragon Legendary decks. Pendulum monsters. Odd Eyes Arc. Pendulum Dragon. I have owned all these decks before. I just never really cared about them. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Another one. Supreme King Dragon Odd Eyes. Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon. Odd Eyes Persona Dragon. Ooh, 2. Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon. Oh, wait. That means there's 2. Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon. You get 2 of those. Performapal Odd Eyes Light Phoenix. Performapal Odd Eyes Unicorn. You get 2 of those. Performapal Skull Crobat? Oh, Skull Crobat Joker. You get 2 of those. Performapal Goat. That looks like a. Oh, I guess I can see why it's a goat. Performapal yugioh Golem. You get 2 of those. Noble Dragon Mage. Noble Dragon Mage, so you get 2. Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon, which is a ritual card, which you almost never see unless you're playing I think the current meta, one of the current meta decks actually is a ritual deck. Sky Iris, you get. What in the world? You get 2 Sky Irises. Odd Eyes Fusion. Odd Eyes Advent, as in like a calendar apparently. Spirit Flame Strike, which I actually have one. I have a few Odd Eyes cards here. Duelist Analysis, you get 2. Pendulum Impenetrable? I'm gonna assume that's what they are. Pendulum Storm. Pot of Riches. Don't know if this is banned. Terraforming banned. You get 2. Echo Oscillation? I think I said that right, hopefully. Pendulum Reborn, so it's like Monster Reborn, but for Pendulum, so you can get back, so you can still keep your Monster Reborn. Pendulum Switch. So, what I will say about Pendulums is I think Yu-Gi-Oh's trying way too hard to, from when they made Pendulums to, because this is like older decks right here. They're still great Yu-Gi-Oh decks, but they're not expected to like be the best in Yu-Gi-Oh. What I will say is you can almost all the time see Konami fighting for the newer children of itself, which is understandable because Konami's newer children were intended to be better than how they are seen, which Pendulum kind of threw everybody off because, if I'm not mistaken, they were given their own zone. But now most people have to put them in spell zone, taking up a spell slot. So a lot of people just bring in a new mat so they can put them in their said zone. Most of those mats take up too much space though. And if you're working with like very close-knit tables, it's not good that one person's just bringing in a mat that practically takes 60% of the table compared to now how it was taking 50. And then those people that bring double-sided mats, if they just offer you to like use their other side, please do. It makes it a lot easier, and genuinely that means there should be less issue when it comes to mat placement, which didn't know was a big thing. But yeah, so I got why do I keep getting notifications for this person? I don't even like them. So that is 2 decks from the 3 decks. Oh wait, that kind of makes sense. All 3 are dragon decks of the time. Okay, now I understand why. Okay, wait, that actually makes sense. Because Cyber Dragon's like a big, like, thing ever since it came out. Because it was the use of the main character. Odd Eyes, I actually don't know about Odd Eyes. And then we got this one coming up next. This is Legendary Dragon Decks, Yugi's deck. Or the Eye of Timaeus, Fang of Caridius, and Claw of Hermos deck. So we start off with Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. Then we go to Dark Paladin, which the Dark Magician Dragon Knight is the one of the collector cards in this. Amulet Dragon, Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, Doom Virus Dragon, which I think is actually such a cool card. Tyrant Burst Dragon. So that's like Tyrant Dragon. So it's practically the same thing. I think people should be running this more. Mirror Force Dragon. Then again, it probably doesn't work how I remember it working. So what I remember it working is it would allow you to reflect the attack of one monster. Time Magic Hammer. So this would be you fusing the Time Wizard and Claw of Hermos. Rocket Hero Hermos Cannon. This is Rocket Warrior and Claw of Hermos. Goddess Bow. I don't remember what this fusion was. Claw of Hermos using a warrior. Okay, it doesn't even say. Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword, which just goes on. It's Red Eyes and Claw of Hermos. Okay, now we got Apprentice, Illusion Magician, Dark Magician, Dark Magician Girl, Magical Robe, Magician's Robes, which I actually need 3 of, if I'm not mistaken. So I will set it aside because I do got to count up. You get 2 more Dark Magicians, another robe, that's good. Actually, I only run 2, so in the online game. Magician Rods, which I already have like a bunch of, so I should be fine not running any of those. Any more of those. Skilled Dark Magician. Is this where I got Skilled Brown Magician from? No, I got Skilled Brown Magician from a pack. Legendary Knight Timaeus. Legendary Knight Caridius. Legendary Knight Hermos. Breaker the Magician Warrior. Magical Exemplar. Big Shield Gardena has to be in every Yugi deck. It's one of his most famous cards. Absolute Crusader. Dark. So this is the like special card for this. Dark Magic Circle. I think these. So Yugi actually has a lot of these now. There's actually like 4 shinies, so I think these were just introduced recently. Or not recently, but when this came out, these were like the cards to hype up Dark Magician decks. Dark Magic Curtain, Illusion Magic, Dark Magic Expand, Dark Magic Inheritance, Thousand Knives, Dark Magic Attack, which if you don't know what Magic Attack and a Thousand Knives do, A, you probably haven't watched the anime, B, you forgot, or C, you've never seen it played. The Eye of Timaeus, the Fang of Caridius, the Claw of Hermos, Legend of Heart. So if you have all 3, and then you have the 3 knights, you're allowed to summon them, which is a very hard thing to get, by my knowledge. Swords of Revealing Light, always good. Pot of Duality, stops you from normal summoning, but you do get to grab 3 cards, draw 1 to the top of your deck, add 1 of them, and then you shuffle them back into your deck. It's Enforcement of the Army, which is a broken card to this standard still. Eternal Soul, Magician's Navigation, which I think Eternal Souls existed for a while. Magician's Navigation's new, pretty recently new. Crush Card Virus, which is Mirror Force, and Tyrant Wing. So I kind of like the way this deck's kind of like not hoisted out at you, but I like the uncertainty of this deck, because this kind of does show how playing Yu-Gi-Oh was earlier in the series, or earlier in the franchise. You didn't know if you were going to get what you needed, and you didn't know. So most of it was like a pawn gamble. Or just like you made a bet, you built your deck to try and work with each other, and you added a few support cards. Only thing I don't like about nowadays is Yu-Gi-Oh! Takes like 50 years to do. Each turn lasts way too long. I had a battle with somebody one year, and genuinely the only thing I was able to, like, everyone builds up their deck so no one can use negates, and the reason everyone did that is to people using so many negates and having not giving anybody a turn to play. Now everybody is just running full negate decks, and it does get kind of boring to play, which is why people fall back onto the beloved Edison format. Even though I think Genesis might actually be doing something. You are given 100 points, and oh wait, you want to add this card that is completely broken and make this deck that you normally would play in Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh wait, most of the time you can't because they cost over the amount of points you're given. But if you were to go into like these structure decks, you could probably make any of these structure decks with all 100 points. Now, I think some of them might be harder, but yes, you could. And I'm pretty sure you still have to hit the 40 card format, but it kind of balances out the game. No matter what people say, oh, I hate Genesis. Genesis might actually be a much better format because you are now limited to what you can play. And the fact that you are limited, I should just make a video on this. Cyclone Steel. That's where I'm going to post my idea on that.